A higher power today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey that is coming almost to an end of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. So this Stoic journey has led me into a deep dive of learning and exploring and challenging everything that I believe to be true. And recently I have embarked in the Jordan Peterson Academy. And right now I'm doing the ancient philosophy course. And it's really interesting because this goes way back before Stoicism. I shouldn't say way back, but yeah, way back before Stoicism. About 300 years, predating 400 years, And it's interesting to see the evolution of thought. And at that time, the question presented in the course was, where's God in any of this, right? Where was that higher power? So today, the quote by, never heard of this one, Diogenes Laertius. Interesting. There is the very thing which makes up the virtue of the happy person and a well-flowing life. When the affairs of life are in every way tuned to the harmony between the individual divine spirit and the will of the director of the universe. Now, I'm not going to go into my beliefs, but what's interesting here, and the reason why I give you that quote, I butchered it terribly. This is the very thing which makes up the virtue of the happy person and a well-flowing life. This is the very thing, okay? When the affairs of life are in every way tuned to the harmony between the individual divine spirit and the will of the director of the universe. So it's saying is the only way you can be happy and have a well-flowing life and make sure all your affairs are in order is if in every way there is harmony between the individual divine spirit and the will of the director of the universe. Okay, well, that's a lot. So who is the director of the universe then, right? Okay. Who is the director of the universe? So let's kind of shift this to what does this mean in our life? What does this mean in my life? And it's interesting because Ryan Holiday in the Daily Stoic uses the 12-step program in AA. And he said most people struggle with step number 2, acknowledging a higher power. He says that addicts often fight this one because first they claim they're either atheist or because they don't believe in religion or don't understand why it matters. But here's the thing, everyone always says it is just the addiction talking. So it is true. When I was going through my recovery, the VA program I was in suggested I go to AA. And I did, and I kind of struggled with this exact step because God, at that time I was really struggling with God. Coming from where I came, seeing people use the word God and to do the things they did, kind of tarnished the name, because if that was really true and it's in his name and he allowed those things to happen, well then made me question a lot of things. We'll leave it at that. So the second step really has less to do about God than the other steps. It's really about letting go. It's atoning to the universe and discarding the toxic idea that we're the center of it, right? So that's really what it is. It's saying there's a power bigger than me. And here's what Stoics are popular in these programs is because this wisdom is beneficial to everyone. Yes, there is a power bigger than us. It is whether you consider it God or energy or fate, if you will, there is something bigger than us in the universe. And here's the reality is we are not the director of the universe. We are not conducting this whole thing. I cannot make all of the different pieces of the universe flow the way they flow. I don't have that power. I'm a piece of it, right? And so that's the thing that we talk about in Stoicism, is removing ourselves from the center of the universe, right? And Marcus Aurelius is actually, he talked about this in meditations a lot, where he would project himself really, really high up, and he would want to see himself on the battlefield, and even further back and further back and further back, until really he had no knowledge of this, but what the earth would look like from really far away, and recognize that, you know, from the sun you could barely see, you know, you see this little blue globe, and you even go out further than that and you can't even see the earth, right? And he would do that to remind himself how insignificant we are as a singular human being on a planet of 8 billion now, but of all kinds of creatures, and we're just one little speck of dirt in a very, very big ocean. And there may be other oceans that we can't see even past that, right? So here's the reality. Whatever you believe, whether it's God, fate, energy, universe, Buddha, who cares? But you have to acknowledge the fact that there's something bigger than us, right? And if we remove ourselves from that, now, easier said than done, right? And here's where I struggle. Because to be mission focused like I am focused on the things that are in my universe, right? That I have the control over. So how do I separate myself from the notion that I can and have had the ability to move things in a certain direction within my gravitational sphere? Or do I just accept what will be what will be? Now, there's conflicting theories even within Stoicism, right? You've heard this. Seize the day, right? It's a Stoic thing. So if you're going to live the day, you're going to live the day to the fullest. But then you also have to accept the outcome from whatever results may be. It's a lot to consider, right? It's a lot to take in. So what does this have to do with me, and how can I apply it to my life, and how can I find a golden nugget here, right? So for me, I've always recognized this, and I will tell you that I believe in science. I believe that we can measure the expansion of the universe. I believe that all the things in the universe are made up of the same particles and chemicals, and it come down to atoms and protons and neutrons, neurons. At some point, the Big Bang happened, or there was an explosion, but I always question this two things. Number one, where did all the space come from that this stuff was in there that had the ability to explode? And who pushed the button? I mean, right? Like, how was the table set? And this is an idea in early philosophy, is what is the universal makeup of things? And they were trying to struggle for this. And even a unicorn is a thing when we're talking about truth or belief, because if I say unicorn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But is that unicorn really a real thing? So there's a difference between truth and belief. And I don't think we know the truth. I think there's a lot of really valid beliefs, but I don't think we know the truth. So I'm going to take the Socratic approach to say that, yes, there has to be a higher power, given the logical conclusion of everything that we've seen and know and understand today to be true, or at least believe to be true. But I don't believe we know the answer. Definitively, I don't believe we know the answer. And that is what makes life so special, because that gives us the ability to constantly search for new information, new ideas, new experiences, which can explain all this. And that's really what the heart of philosophy is. It's trying to explain life. It's really what it is. It's trying to explain life, whether it's the meaning or the beginning or how to live it. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. And on that, going to go enjoy the day.